If you're working as a data scientist in an organization, and depending on the size of the organization or the size of the team, what task you'll be performing as a data scientist. So let's begin. The one thing I want to talk about is now data science and the tasks a data scientist do could vary from different organization to organization. Why? Because you could have a different size of the team. Within that size of the team, if you go more higher level, you could be working for a startup, you could be working for a small or medium enterprise, you could be working for a large organization. Now, I do want to kind of cover, so I'll be making this kind of like step view where you're looking at different levels. Looking at this staircase, I'm trying to basically depict all the levels of data science, starting from data engineering, because obviously you do have to start from data engineering, because if you don't really have the data from the billing system or from the OLTP systems into your data warehouse, you can't really do anything. Again, like for running the models or for doing any work, you first need your data. So that's where the first step comes in, which is data engineering. Then the next step after that is your visualization, which is again combination of exploratory data analysis, your business intelligence. Now this is another part of that where you first then review your data, you try to understand the different patterns in your data, you're trying to look what exact features we have in that data. Next would be your experimentation and your A/B testing, which is again, you're trying to use your data science skills to understand from those analysis, maybe trying to build more different types of models or do more feature engineering to understand different aspects of that customer and do more experimentation of that and see what works, what doesn't work. Now then on the higher level you have the actual build of the models where you are actually productionizing your models, because in the experimentation stage you might have done some basic computation on models and try to understand them better, but then when you go to the higher level, which is you're productionizing those models, which is actually building the machine learning model and productionizing it and building your deep learning model and productionizing it, and overall you combining that all together within this artificial intelligence. So say for an example, I gave that example a couple of times now, which is autonomous driving. First, initially you come with a step where you're building your deep learning neural net models to actually predict when to turn or when not to turn. Once that all is done, you then try to bring that into one package, which is your artificial intelligence, where your machine is now fully capable of making those decisions and productionizing that software to actually start producing that product, distributing that to the customer to actually start using it. So this is kind of like another way you can look at it, how it's all packaged into one. Now, what I want to kind of like talk about now is what exactly way you would be working. So say for an example, if you're working in a startup, within the startup, you might not really have a larger team, or you might not really have people who are working on a specific task within this hierarchy. So exactly what you would be doing as a data scientist would be, you would be covering all these areas, such as starting from getting the data yourself, getting into the pipeline, putting that in, using the ETL and basically bringing that data into the data warehouse, moving up then doing another exploratory data analysis, understanding what exactly they're in data and using the BI and basically building those reports, then doing more experimentations, A/B testing, then moving towards actually building those models. Now that could be the initial way how you would be working on this whole different field. And if you look at small and medium enterprise, then you will be looking at, say for an example, if your team is a small team but still you have specific roles within the team, you could have a person who is actually just aligned towards data engineering who would be looking at how to build those pipelines, bring the data into the data warehouse. So then in that case you would be working on the next three stages where you're actually looking at that data. You don't really have to worry where the data is coming from, but you actually just work on the data, do more experimentation and build your models. And then the other level would be within the large organization where you do have a really big team, you have a large team. And now again, it could be a case where you're working even in small and medium enterprise, but because your team is large enough, you do have specific tasks given to yourself within the team. But majority of the time, this is a case within a large organization where you start with your data engineering team, which is actually working on building those pipelines and bringing the data into the data warehouse. Then you have another team within that, which is your senior data analyst or the data scientists, which are actually working on experimentation, which is actually working on building those analyses or exploratory data analysis and looking at another different types of report that could be helpful in terms of understanding what exactly that customer represents in the base. Then you have your next stage, which is your ML machine learning researchers, or you can more call that as a machine learning engineers, or the top higher level core data scientists, which are actually then just working on building those models, building those algorithms to actually productionize those models based on the research, based on the data that's collected by data engineers. Now, this could be a view of large organization. Now, again, I hope like all these information that I gave it to you was helpful in some shape or form, and then you did enjoy in terms of understanding what exactly is data science, where it was originated, when it got actually popular, and what exactly is involved within data science. And it's not just all about AI, ML, and DL, it's more about looking at the overall picture. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Do subscribe to my channel for my future upcoming videos. And if you do have any comments, do leave it in the comment box below. I do read all the comments and come back to you. And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.